told me. I need a ring and a trophy. I say I'm the best 'cause I am. There's no need in keeping it low key. I can carve up the D like a turkey, or run straight through the D like a train. This year we ain't taking no losses. It's all about making the game. I hear a lot of trash talk. You tell us I'm making a name. I put on the jets, the coach regret even letting them stay in the game. See my route took a tumble. Next time be humble. I'm the lion in the jungle. You just try not to fumble. Rumble, young man, rumble. Never slip nor stumble. I take all poof, magic. Now watch me juke through the traffic. Footwork fantastic. Dominating every facet. Treat the pocket like plastic. Here gonna blitz, pass it. Got it on smash. Put in the gas. I will not crash. 100-yard dash. 100-yard dash. 100-yard dash. 100-yard dash. 100-yard dash.
Well, Coach, we've had a driving rainstorm make its way through the plains, and it definitely is going to be a factor here this afternoon at Empower Field at Mile High in Denver. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the New York Jets and the Denver Broncos. The first 2 months of the regular season down. What will the final two bring us as we're off in Week 9? This is taken at his 4. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line.
Ready, 18, Gator. And it's getting in rolls.
They'll run it for the first time with Alvin Kamara. And this will leave him a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on first down.
A nice run here early on. It doesn't take a great play caller to realize you want to establish a guy of his caliber that runs like this early because they'll pay dividends as the game progresses.
The previous run, good for 9. Here's second and a yard. Now a carry. It's C.J. Anderson. And he'll bring it up here to right at the 40-yard line. A gain of just a yard, but it's a first down.
2nd and 1, and people want to run the football. This is where every back in the league is supposed to do exactly what we just saw there. Pick up the first down.
Set 50, plant.
Got one. Check 37, check 37. Check 3. Let's go.
Now a first down carry. It's Kamara. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. It's a loss of a yard there, and it's second down.
Nice play right there to stop him behind the line, but I want to see how this defense continues to play him here in the first half.
Yeah, we know. You know better than I. He has the ability to take over a game. So what do you do?
Yeah, I think you have to make sure that you bottle him in at varying levels. Because if you crowd everyone to the line of scrimmage, if he breaks through, there's nothing but room to run.
And he gets this one to midfield before he's brought down. A Bronco first down there, 12 yards on the play.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
And it was a good start getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance.
First and 10 at the 31-yard line.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on first and 10.
I'm scared.
Back to the ground. This time it's Anderson. He'll get about 6 there as he takes this one down to the 24-yard line.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
Brings up 2nd and 4 at the 24-yard line.
6 yards on that last play. Here's 2nd and 4.
That's right, baby. They don't want it.
Throwing Rivers over the middle, and it's incomplete. Keenan Allen, the intended target, and it's 3rd and 4.
We talk all the time about playmakers on offense, but let's face it, there are plenty of playmakers on defense, too. I think we just saw an example of one, didn't we? Not force that incompletion.
Yeah, he's a great corner. They got a couple of them on that side of the football. That's taken in by the tight end, Perkins. Well, this is going to depend on the spot, but it's not a very generous one. He looks to be about a yard or so short. A minimal gain there on the 8th play of the drive. Now Aldrich Rosas for the field goal attempt. From the left hash, this from 39. And Rosas puts this one through. And the Broncos, the first to grace the scoreboard. It's 3-0. Able to move the ball on that drive. Yes, just 3 points, but 4 first downs were in there.
Yeah, and you can look at it and feel pretty good about the whole thing and think, okay, this should continue throughout this ball game. On the flip side, if you're a defender, it's almost like, whew, we only gave up 3. They moved the ball on us pretty well.
After the field goal, here's Rosas to kick it away.
The Jets take over 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
Here we go. Ready?
56. I'm coming for you, son. I'm coming for you, son. No.
On first down, Stevens. And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
2nd and 9 at the 26-yard line.
The last play got just a yard. Here's 2nd and 9 from the 26.
He's coming.
Red flag 2, right here.
He's coming. Double up. Do.
Here we go.
The first carry now. This is Johnson. Call it a gain of 5 that time, and they'll be left with a 3rd and about 4.
All right, Grant, I know we're in the early going here, but those kind of runs, they're going to open up a world of opportunities for this offense going forward.
82.
56.
Hey, Wahoo.
From the gun on 3rd down, Wentz. He's letting it fly, and that's caught inside the 30. And they do finally get him, but he takes it to the 25.
I know we love our jobs, and pretty much any play we see, we're pretty, excited about. For big plays, let's face it, that's what we absolutely live for. How about that one?
That was great, and what our camera missed was the fist pump from the sideline after that catch. They're fired out. That's a big game. He's got the first down inside the 10. Another big hitter there. This one good for 18.
And while we're seeing more and more of these plays come from the college game into the NFL, and that one, it was run with great success, how about the evolution of the offensive linemen? We're seeing less and less big guys who can't move, and more guys who are a lot more mobile and can get out in front of that type of a play.
Only a yard that time, 2nd and goal. Be interesting to see now what they do offensively down near the goal line after not much there that time.
As the offensive play caller, that may change your sequence now. Instead of coming right back with a running play, you may have to go to the air.
Now some movement before the snap. And we'll hear from our referee for the first time this afternoon. Things made a little more difficult after the false start as they try again on 2nd and goal.
57.
56. Mike, 56. Hey, man. Watch the boot. Watch
is going to be caught by Smith for a Jet touchdown. Herb Smith Jr., his second touchdown on the season. And the Jets have taken the lead. And, partner, they found a gap there on the post pattern in the middle of the end zone.
And ordinarily, that's a tough spot to find because there's usually coverage to take away that portion of the field. But they found a gap, and they exploited it.
Bailey now to kick it away after the touchdown. This will be fielded at the 8. And good starting field position. He'll get this one all the way up to about the 35-yard line. Denver offense at the line, ready to go. And last time able to get 3. Not what they wanted. They wanted 6, but they got at least something. They mustered something out of the drive.
They'll take it. I like the way you've described it. Not ideal, but they'll take it. Anything to put some points on the board. But this time on offense, they don't even want to see the field goal kicker trot on the field. They want that ball in the end zone.
Yeah, they'll be going for 6. After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. From the gun, Rivers. And that will fall incomplete. Oh, they took a shot there on what will turn out to be the final play of this first quarter. After 1, 7-3 the score on EA Sports. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. From the shotgun, it's Rivers. And that'll wind up incomplete. Bold play call there. Now it's 4th down. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning, hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play, and the officials are instructed. If there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces 4th down. Jets offense coming up now to start their next drive. And thus far, the weather has not slowed this offense down one bit. They've looked good so far in the first half.
They certainly have.
And now a fumble. The ball's out. Nicole Hardman, the intended target, but it'll be 2nd down. And the defense not able to get it. From a defensive perspective, what's that moment like when you realize the ball is loose?
It is a moment where all concentration goes right to the football. This is something you've talked about in all your preparation for the game. You probably talked about since training camp. Knock the ball free, take it away from the other team, and now you have that chance. There's a little bit of deflation when they end up recovering it.
They knocked it free, but couldn't take it away. And this winds up a pickup of 2, maybe 2.5 to about the 39.
Well, they didn't get a whole lot out of that one, but I think you got to continue to try and run and try and keep the defense honest.
You mean or else they'll just sit back, dare you to throw it on every down?
Yeah, you get your quarterback hit a lot that way, too.
You got nothing. You got nothing.
Working from the gun, Wentz. And that's caught by Smith. He had the touchdown on the opening drive. Now he's got a 1st down.
One of the advantages of zone defense, as I remember it, is being able to see the play develop in front of you. One of the disadvantages, when they find those levels where they can hit you with it. Sometimes behind the corner and in front of the safety, it makes it tough to defend.
46 down, where's my ball? 44.
Wentz now on 1st down. He's got Smith here. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. A good pickup there, 26 yards. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful? You're losing playing against a good quarterback like he is to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme. And you can
and he's in. Touchdown, Jets. Carson Wentz with 2 first-half touchdown passes. And the Jets will extend their lead. Now Bailey to tack on the extra point. And this one's right through to make it a 14-3 ball game. Bailey now to kick it away after the touchdown.
And that drives coaches insane, doesn't it? When they see that happen, it just doesn't feel right, doesn't it? Plus, you're giving up yardage.
Good starting position for the Broncos here as they come up 1st and 10 at the 40.
Let's bring it. Hey, lock it. Hey, turn it up.
Now Rivers. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's 2nd down.
That would have been a great catch, but it was real difficult to hold on to it because it was contested all the way. Would have been a great play if he'd been able to haul that one in.
So 2nd down and 10. Once again, they'll go from the 40. Throwing again. Rivers. A fight for the football, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Jair Alexander, and his guys are going to take over at the 39-yard line.
And Brandon, the passing game for both of these teams is going to be affected as the game goes along. It's not looking like the rain's going to let up anytime soon, so that might mean a few more wobbly passes and wide receiver slips, and this one winds up getting intercepted.
Jets offense coming up now to start their next drive. And right now they're saying, hey, let's keep this going. 2 drives, 2 touchdowns.
Yeah, can't ask for a better start than that, can you? I mean, this is the way you practice it. This is the way you rehearse it. But right now, the play calling, they're locked in really well. They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, this big defensive lineman will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
On 2nd and 9, Wentz. He gets this one to Johnson. It's a gain of 5. And just like that, it's 3rd down.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
Wentz going to try and throw on 3rd. Flush to his right. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked up by the linebacker, Bobby Wagner. And a return out shy of midfield to the 46-yard line.
Well, I get what he was trying to do. He was moving to his right and trying to shift the coverage, but instead he shifted the coverage also to the right and threw right into it for an interception.
They begin on the ground with Kamara, and he'll be brought down at the 50 after a gain of about 5.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
The first down run got 5. Here's 2nd and 5.
Check tight. Check tight.
Rivers now from the 50. That's to his running back. It's Alvin Kamara. And he's dropped just before the line to gain. 4-yard pickup leaves him with 3rd and 1. It's a 4-yard pickup, and that'll bring up a 3rd and 1.
Here we go. 60 or. Come on, baby. Come on, let's go. 22 jet bomber. 5.
They'll run it. Here's Anderson. And he won't be close to a first down as he runs into a wall right around the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain there, and it leads to a 4th down.
It's 4th down.
We've got a 14-3 ball game with 2 minutes left in the opening half. remind you, coming up at the half, we'll join who, Charles?
The coach.
The coach, Jonathan Coachman, standing by in Orlando. He'll have stats and scores from games in progress, as well as scores from earlier today.
The coach.
Sorry, we get slap happy up here sometimes. Give them credit. They knew what they wanted to dial up on fourth. They executed it for 9 yards, and the offense stays out there. The fourth down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on first down. Working out of the gun, Rivers. There goes a deep ball, end zone. And it's intercepted at the goal line. Picked off by Jair Alexander.
So that's back-to-back drives where they've thrown an interception. Ordinarily, we look at the offense and say, what's going on with your scheme? Maybe we should look at the defense and just give them a whole lot of credit. They've got them frustrated right now.
Jets offense coming up now to start their next drive. Still more than a minute to go, so there is time if they want to mount something here.
Not only time, but they have 3 timeouts at their disposal as well. So that changes everything that you're doing here. Without those timeouts, you can only work the sidelines, hoping to get out of bounds. Here, the middle of the field is still available because you can call timeout and regroup.
One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10.
44 at the mic. 44. 5-9. 5-9. Yeah. You don't want none. 5. 44 at the mic. So don't say nothing. 44.
Shotgun now for Wentz. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Stephon Tuitt able to shake free and get home for the sack. Now the Broncos are going to call the first of their timeouts as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming 2nd down play. They're in some hot water now. After that sack, it's 2nd and 21. Throwing now is Wentz. Complete. Smith has it. And they've got it well across midfield down to the 40 before it's all said and done. And even 30 yards on a play that began back at the 30.
First down, Jets.
Wentz now closing in on a 200-yard first half through the air. It's 1st and 10. Here's Wentz to throw. Now a clash of bodies here, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 14. This defense had 3 interceptions last week. They're on pace for more than that here. 2 in the first half.
Do not adjust your set. This is not instant replay. This is a defense that is locked in. They're essentially running the routes for the receivers and turning into the receivers themselves, aren't they? I mean, it is amazing what I'm seeing because the reaction to those guys back on the back 7, phenomenal.
And he'll just push his way forward for a few as the clock will run. Well, we know he's an electric runner. Earlier this half, you were wondering how they were going to bottle him up at different levels. That was your suggestion. Some mixed results.
Yeah, certainly, because we have seen him bottled up at times. You've seen him play him very well. We've also seen him pop the cork a few times and get out of there, haven't we?
We have indeed. Now a deep ball there on 2nd down, but it'll wind up incomplete. Keenan Allen, the intended receiver, and it's 3rd down.
And 8 yards to go.
So the failure to connect on 2nd down, that leaves them staring up here at a 3rd and 8. This time they stay on the ground. And they're going to stop him short of the first down as he's tackled at about the 21. So we have reached halftime here in an 11-point contest. As we send you on out to our studios in Orlando, here's Jonathan Coachman at REA Sports Halftime Report. Forecast calling for more of the same. The rain set to continue as we are underway in the second half. And as we see so frequently here in Colorado, that one over the end line. So it'll come out to the 25. Jets offense coming up now to start their next drive. They built a good first half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. Now this one over the middle into the hands of his tight end, complete. That throw good for only a couple. It brings up third down.
And, partner, I think that's a great example that not all tight ends are created equal, because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
Go. Let's move it.
Let's set a tone, fellas. Let's set a tone.
On third down, Stevens. And he'll be tackled right on the chalk of the 45. Give him 12 yards there, and the Jets have a first.
At this stage of the game, the run-pass numbers are a little bit out of whack because most of their yardage has come through the air. But in a sense, that just sets things up for big runs like that because the defense might be a little bit off balance. They pick up another first down with that run.
All right, T, let's check. All right, T.
Rush coming, and he's taken down.
They need to stop to get back into this game, and here's one right to start the third quarter.
Yeah, anytime you go to the lockers with that 2-3 score deficit, you're right. You need that stop, get the football back, and they've done just that.
Series to series, play to play.
On second down, it's Stevens. The second down play, not much better than the first, just a gain of 1 there.
Well, they had that one sniffed out. Excellent run blitz. Stop that one for a short gain.
What makes a good run blitz a good run blitz?
The ability to stay on task, to follow up your assignment, go to the gap you're supposed to cover, and not be deterred by anything else.
Play 56. Play 56.
Now Wentz on third down. This is caught. It's Cooks. And this is going to be another first down as they'll make the tackle at the Broncos' 43.
All right, let's just walk through this one pretty easily, right? Blast off the line of scrimmage, get downfield to a certain point, usually around 8 to 10 yards, turn around and make sure the quarterback sees your numbers and set yourself up for the pass.
A well-executed curl route by Charles Davis. And he's dropped right at the 40. Gain of 3. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down.
Let's get
3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7.
Cut. Watch the edge.
They go to Johnson again. And he works it past the 30, almost to the 25. 14 yards is the pickup there, and a Jet first down.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them.
Let's move it.
54 Mike. I got one. Check.
They'll run on first down. Stevens. He's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on first down. Lots of praise on this drive, obviously. I know you're seeing what I'm seeing. Those guys up front, they're getting it done.
Doesn't matter what play is called. They are handling their business at the line of scrimmage and dominating right now on this drive.
And he'll get him inside the 15 down to the 14-yard line.
Third quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
I got you. Check.
On first down, Wentz. Screen play, Johnson. And he'll go down here at the 12-yard line. They hold him to only 2 there on the screen. It's second down.
In order for a screen pass to break big, a lot of things have to come together and be well executed. But all it takes is one small thing to go wrong and keep it from being a big game.
Now whistles come in before the snap. Looked like one of the Jets may have moved. And that false start penalty certainly not helping their cause here. Second down and long. Now flags will come in. I think this one's going to be on the defense for jumping. So the penalty erases their earlier loss. Now it's 2nd and 8. Now a give right side. Stevens. And here he'll get it down to the 7. Still about 3 yards shy of a first as the 4-yard pickup brings it to 3rd down.
When you find that kind of yardage, you couldn't be more confident as a ball carrier. And guess what? You're going to go back and tell your offensive coordinator, I'd like to keep carrying it, thank you.
Throwing his Wentz. And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Picked up by the linebacker, Bobby Wagner. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. First possession of the 3rd quarter, an interception, so maybe a second-half tone setter.
Indeed, and not the tone they wanted to set. That's the equivalent of running out the wrong door and running into your pool instead of running out onto the field. A real dud for that one.
Has that happened to you before?
No, but I've heard stories about teams actually doing that back in the good old days.
And he'll take this forward only up to about the 7. Credit the tackle that time to Deshaun Hand.
That first down play, all you want to do is wedge out any type of space and try and create enough room. If you have to run the punter out there, he can successfully complete the punt.
Yeah, didn't get a ton there, but at least some positive yardage. And they'll get him down up past the 15-yard line. A Bronco first down there, 12 yards on the play.
First and 10 at the 18-yard line.
Welcome back now to Denver. It's the Broncos trailing, but they do have possession of the football as we begin quarter number 4. Thanks to that last play, a little more room to operate. First and 10 at the 18.
Hey, Haywood! 55! Right there in the middle, 55! Let's go, T!
From the gun, Rivers. He's going to float this one deep right side. And that will be incomplete. Would have been a big hitter if they had connected. Instead, it's 2nd down.
This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, 4th quarter. Maybe can expect more passes like that downfield. On 2nd and 10, Rivers, he's got it complete to Perkins. And he'll be corralled well upfield right around the 40-yard line.
This possession means so much for them. They've got to focus on this drive and find a way to make this a one-possession game. Got to get a score.
Yeah, so good with a field goal. Don't necessarily need a touchdown. A couple of first downs have them to the 40 now on 1st and 10.
Move! Everyone got 4 down. Hey, Zoo! Get it!
Again, it's Rivers. He's going to air one out for Anderson. And that'll wind up incomplete. Trying to give his man room to run under it, but it's 2nd down. It's been this way most of the afternoon, hasn't it? This secondary really put this receiving core on lockdown.
Listen, they've worked together like a basketball team that's playing excellent defense. Great communication, doesn't matter whether it's man or zone. And especially against deep balls, as we saw there, they're not giving up anything to him.
And they'll get to him after a gain of 7 to the 47. The reception good for 7. It's 3rd down. The Broncos on 3rd down. Not good. 0 for 4 thus far. Here it's 3rd and 3. Here's Kamara trying to run for it. He's not going to get there. That won't even be close. It was blown up in the backfield. After seeing that, maybe time to go back to some downfield throws here.
Yeah, anything. Change it up, because the teams that win, the best teams, they're the ones that make adjustments. Doesn't mean you can't come back to what you thought you could get done. Sometimes when you open things up a little bit, you can get back to what you wanted to do before.
And Allen's got it. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. The time to pull out the stops is now, and they convert there on 4th down. Here's Rivers. Looking left side, and it's complete. And all the way inside the 15 before they drop it. A good pickup there, a 22. A 10th carry for Kamara. Trying to run inside, but nothing there. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd down. looking to throw on second down. Rivers toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete. He was trying to get that one to Allen that time, and it'll bring up third down.
Once you get into the red zone and the safeties have less ground to cover, you'd better be quick with your delivery. Not much space to get a ball in there.
Yeah, when that field shrinks with those safeties, it's almost like there's a couple extra defenders out there, right?
It certainly is. They end up taking up extra space just because there's not enough space for receivers to run through.
The Broncos on third down. A pretty woeful 0 for 5 thus far. This is 3rd and 10.
132 fighter.
Rivers to throw it. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete.
This defense is continuing to contest every deep ball that is thrown downfield. And look, it doesn't matter whether you're playing man or zone. Eventually that becomes man on man. And you've got to trust yourself and go up in that moment of truth and make a play on the football.
And the kick by Rosas is good. And a second field goal here cuts their deficit to 14-6 now. All right, so they needed 2 scores to get back in the game. The field goal there, maybe not exactly what they wanted, but the necessary first step.
There's still time remaining, and there's enough time to get it done. They've got to get it at least a 3-and-out here to get the ball back, preferably a takeaway.
Come on, baby. Let's go.
Jets offense coming up now to start their next drive. Right now clinging to a 1-score lead, Charles, and I think operating within that 4-minute offense with a little less than 4 minutes to go applies here, right?
It certainly does, and that means the playbook is still wide open, but you are a little bit more careful about what you're calling. You want plays that are going to gain yardage, how would you say it, consistently, right? You don't need the big shots downfield, but make sure the clock continues to run. Pile up the first downs, and the goal, end the game with your quarterback kneeling down at the end, and you still have the lead.
They'll keep it on the ground. It's Stevens, and not a whole lot doing there as he'll get it up to about the 28-yard line. 5 yards on first down, but now just a 1-yard pickup there on second. 3rd and 4, and this crowd urging on their defense. They're up and making noise. From the gun, it's Wentz. This is Johnson. He's got it. And he's going to have the first down yardage to the 35. Move the chains. A gain of 7 on 3rd down. Wentz now 5 straight completions here in this second half. 1st and 10. Now a give, right side. Stevens, nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And I think this defense knew what was coming as he is smothered behind the line. Fourth quarter, down to the final 2 minutes, and we've got a 1-score game. Got to figure the rush is going to be fierce again as they come up 2nd and 13. So it's Jets football as we get you reset here. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. They'll keep it on the ground. Stevens. That's good for a Jet first down, a gain of 13. I guess he was saving his best for last, so to speak. Longest run of the day coming here in the fourth quarter right there.
And that type of run makes for a better night for him and his teammates, doesn't it? To be able to produce this late in the game can lead to some big smiles and satisfaction in the locker room after this one's over.
Not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. Now a handoff here to his running back. And he's got it across midfield and into Denver territory. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3.
I have to chuckle to myself a little bit, Brandon, because right now I could be in that huddle with that offensive line. I know exactly what they're saying. If you call a pass play here, we're going to call timeout. Run the football. We've got control of this thing. Get him behind us and let's go.
Their time to shine. So they come up on second down, and they can get another run like we just saw. Would likely put an end to this thing. Now the Broncos are going to call the first of their timeouts as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important third down. Here's the 7th play of this drive. This is 3rd and 4.
81. 56. Mike 56.
To throw is Wentz. And that is incomplete.
We've seen good cover skills on display throughout this game, really from both teams. And there's another nice example there of them making it difficult to complete a pass.
Now here's Rigoberto Sanchez, as he should be able to pin him back deep here with his first punt. He'll send this one into the mile-high air, and it's a good one. And that ball's going to angle out at the 3-yard line. A beauty.
You hate to give the ball away here in the 4th quarter while you're just holding a slim lead. But that punt, absolutely ideal. They pin them inside the 5-yard line. They give their defense a really nice opportunity.
The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. They're down here in a 1-score game. But the time, it's a factor, but it's not a huge factor right now, is it?
It's really not, because this amount of time gives them a chance to run their offense, to go through play sequences. And this is what they work on every week in practice, usually on a Friday. They go over this type of a situation, late game situation. What are we going to do when we have the opportunity? They've called these plays a bunch of times. Now
a crusher there as it's intercepted. Picked off by Jordan Poyer. Count them now, 6 interceptions between last week and this week. Now, the 3 picks last week helped them to a win. They're in the driver's seat once more.
And they're the ones that are doing all the leading, aren't they? Right? The 3 interceptions last week, that led to a victory. 3 interceptions so far in this game, that has them out in front. We often think of the offense driving things. In this case, it's the defense, not just holding teams, but creating big plays for themselves.
Brings up 2nd and a yard at the 18-yard line.
The last run got 9. That leaves them with 2nd and a yard.
You don't want none, baby. You don't want none.
They'll keep it on the ground. It's Stevens, and he'll go down here at the 12-yard line. 6 yards to pick up, and that's a first down.
It's a gain of 6. And the Jets first down.
So it's a victory here for the New York Jets. And it was a bit of a strange game. They were held scoreless through the entire second half, but their first half output, that's enough to carry them to victory.
And that's an odd game to watch, isn't it? Because when we saw the output in the first half, you think to yourself, okay, they've got something working here. They know what they're doing. They'll continue that along. But instead, it's goose eggs in the second half. Fortunately, enough of a cushion and enough defense to carry them home.
So for the Jets, a loss would have really hurt. As it stands, they finished the first half at 3-5. And they'll get another road date next week as their opponents will be the Seattle Seahawks. Meanwhile, for Denver, they fall 2 games under 500 now at 3-5. And they will try